called from this data sources. It may be a web server log. It may be a RDBMS data sources. Any data source. Okay. These are all your data sources. From these data sources, the data will be crawled by either by Flume or by okay. The data will be placed in the Hadoop distributor file system.
Okay, so we will discuss the concept of Flume and all other thing once this discussion has been over. Flume and scope, how to crawl data will be taught to you after our completion of this bit.
Kafka also for this purpose, Apache Kafka for crawling data. The data has been placed in HDFS. By using PIC, you are going to add a structure. Okay. So the data within HDFS will be stored in forms of a file. Okay. The data need to be loaded into the PIC. So in PIC, the table that you use in PIC contains tuples. Yesterday we have discussed about these tuples and bags. Okay. So here the data will be stored in this table in forms of tuples, and collection of tuples has been called as bag. So how to store the data? From your file system, you need to store the data here into the big table. So for that purpose, you need to make use of this loading and storing operator. The operator which is coming under this loading and storing need to be worked with. The first operator is load. The first command that you need to make use of is load. Okay, which is used to load the data from the file system or other storage into a relation. Here the table here is called as relation. The rows in the table here PIC is called as a tuple. Collection of rows in the table is called as a bag. Okay, these are all the technical jargons used in PIC. The table here is called as a relation. Then the load statement is used for loading data from any file system. It may be a local file system or Hadoop file system into a relation in a PIC. Okay, first I will describe the command and we can work with the command with appropriate example. The second, store. It saves the relation into the file system. Okay, so or another storage. You have the relation, the data that is stored in the relation need to be saved in either a Linux file system or in HDFS file system. The store command is used for storing the data. It is nothing but to save the relation into a file system. You use this store command. Then the data need to be, if it is need to be displayed in the console, the default console, that is your printer. The command is dump command. So for each and every activity, you load store. It need to be A is equal to load. So A is the variable. A is the variable which holds all the data. For example, similarly, B is equal to some store. Then each and everything will be stored on a variable. All the data which is loaded will be stored on a variable A. Then the variable A acts as a relation. If you want to view the content of A, simply dump A. Dump the variable name. Okay. The data which is stored in this variable A will be displayed in the screen by using a dump statement. Okay. Dump statement is used to print the relation into the console. Okay. Load statement is used to load the data from any file system into relation. Store statement is used to save the relation to a file system or any storage. And dump command, so here, is used to display the content of the relation in the monitor. That is the use of this load, store and dump command, which is coming under this loading and storing operator. The next is class of operator is filtering operator. Okay, filtering. What is the purpose of this filtering operator? So it is used to display the content of the relation based upon certain conditions. Okay, that is filtering. For example, in our RDBMS, where salary greater than 10,000. So where jobs equal to DBA. Okay, these are all filtering conditions. Here it will list all those records which satisfies this condition, whose salary is greater than, whose job is equal to GPA. Like this, we make use of, if you want to remove some unwanted rows based upon certain condition, you need to go for this filtering operator. The first operator is filter, which is used for removing unwanted rows from the relation. It removes unwanted rows from the relation. Okay, the filter based upon certain condition. Then the second operator, so distinct, okay, distinct. It's used for removing duplicate rows. Removes duplicate rows from the relation. What do you mean duplicate rows? For example, assume you have a field by name job. Then you have 1,000 records in this table, okay, in this relation. You want to find out, so the sequence number, you have 1,000 records, and the table is employee table, which release the employees working with a particular company. You want to find out the jobs that is existing in that company. Some may be clerk, some may be assistant, some may be managers, some may be assistant managers, some may be deputy general managers, DGM. Like this, there are several designations. So here, let you assume 500 people are working as clerk, and there are 50 office assistants, and there are 25 managers. So in this manner, you have a duplicate entry for all the records. If you want to find out only the unique value, then in that case, you need to make use of a distinct class. Okay, distinct operator is used to remove the duplicate rows from the relation based upon the field that we are choosing. Once we have discussion with an example, you may have a clear understanding. Then, for each generate, so for each is meant for, if you are having 1,000 records, if you want to read a record, and if you want to do some action on that record, you want to read record by record. For that, you use this for each statement. For each statement, will read a record by record and let you do the action that you want to do on that record. Okay, so it is similar to a for loop in your programming language. And next one. So here, if you want to run a MapReduce, then another command is MapReduce. So here, it will run a MapReduce job using a relation as an input. You have a job. The job return may be in a Java or any, assume a Perl or Python. So the job need to access a particular relation. Okay, if the job is need to access a relation, and then you want to issue this MapReduce command. Okay, it runs a MapReduce job with the given relation as an input. Okay, this content of the relation will be taken, and the job, which is nothing but your program in which you have some business logic, will apply on that relation, and it will do the needed thing. Okay, so these are all the some of the filtering commands. And the another command is sample. Under the filtering command, you have a sample. Sample command is used to select a random sample from a relation. You have your relation contains 10,000 records. So you have developed, you have developed a particular program. You want to apply the program into this particular table, that is we call here as relation. Instead of the program applied on these 10,000 records, you want to find out the efficiency of the program. Here, instead of applying to these 10,000 records, some n number of records, that we are seeing some random records of 100 samples can be taken, and the program can be applied on those samples, and it can able to find out the efficiency of the program based upon the output. Okay, so here to get this efficiency to do some process, we no need to go for 10,000 or imagine 10 lakh records in a table. Just a random sampling can be taken. The random sampling will have satisfies all the criteria, okay, that the particular 10,000 records is in possession. So if these 10,000 records will have different characteristics, and the random sample will be taken in such a manner, it includes all the characteristics. In such a manner, the sample is used to select, and the program can be applied on the sample to find out the output. So these are all filtering commands. Okay, then the next set of commands coming under grouping and joining commands. Grouping and joining. Okay, grouping and joining commands. So what is grouping and joining? Here in grouping and joining, these are all the following commands. Join, which is used to join two or more relations. You have relation 1 and you have relation 2. You want to join the content of these two relations into a single relation, then you use join. You have employee number and employee name in relation 1, and you have employee number, an employee job, and employee address in relation 2. If you want to list employee number, employee name, and address, these two relations need to be joined as a single relation. Okay, by using this join statement, we can perform this item. Then next one, co-group. It is used to group the data into two or more relations based upon certain conditions. Okay, co-group is used to group the data in two or more relations. Okay. Data in two or more relations. So if you want to group the data based on single relations, you use group. Where to use group operator? So here it is operates on a single relation. You group the data, it operates on two or more relations. Okay, so you have a data, you want to find out the salary of a person, that is the minimum salary and the maximum salary of a particular department accordingly job wise. So in DBA, who is getting minimum maximum salary? As an engineer, who is getting minimum maximum salary? Like this, if you want to find out, you need to perform this group action. Okay, group is used to perform grouping the data in a single relation. And there is another thing, cross product. Okay, so cross product is used to, for example, you have relation 1 with 10 records, relation 2 with 5 records. The cross product of relation 2 will result in the 50 records. This cross product will result in a 50 records. Okay, each record will be joined, each record from relation 1 is joined with each record in the relation 2. Okay, this is cross product. Then these are all coming under grouping and joining. Next one, order. It is used for sorting the relation, okay, based upon some fields. Okay, so this is coming under a sorting operator. Order, it sorts the relation based upon one field. If you want to list the relation based upon some salary wise, those persons who is getting low salary to high salary, you can go by order class. Okay, it will list the sorting based upon ascending or descending manner. Okay, another operator is limit. If you have in your relation R1 10,000 records, you want to list only the first 100 records. Okay, first 100 records, then you need to go for limit 100. Okay, it will list the first 100 records. If it is limit 200, it will list the first 200 records. Okay, these are all the things by which we can limit the size of the relation in terms of tuples out of our requirement. And finally, we have an operator coming under combining and splitting. combining and splitting operator. Here you have an operator by name union. So here you have relation 1 and relation 2, multiple relations. To combine 2 or more relations into a single relation to go for this union operator. And there is another operator called as a split. So it is reverse to that of union. You have one relation, based upon some condition, if you want to split the relation, so R1 and R2, to go for this split operator. So these are all the operators that you can use in your PIC to achieve the needed things. Okay, so we are going to discuss about these operators. So before going to discuss about these operators, you should know some PIC Latin commands that you can work with PIC. Again, these are all normal Linux commands, which that we have already discussed. HDFS commands. What are all the commands that you can work with PIC? So here in this Hadoop file system, if you want to execute some commands in Hadoop file system, here cat command, you can make use of cat command. What's the purpose of going for this cat? The cat command is used to create a file. At the same time, it is used to list the content of the file. You already know how the syntax became this cat. Then you can make use of CD, change directory. You can make use of the copy from local, which is used to copy the file or directory into the Hadoop system from your Linux file system. From the Linux file system to copy into your Hadoop file system, you use copy from local. Another command, copy to local. Reverse from your Hadoop file system into your Linux file system. You want to do some actions, copy to local. So within the file system, you use copy. So to access this HDFS, you need to prefix the command with fs. Okay. To access a Linux file system, you need to prefix the command with sh. To access a HDFS, you need to prefix the command with fs. Okay. I will let you know with the example. You first make a note of this command. Then ls used for listing the files, and you can create a directory using mkdir, and you can move a file by using me. Okay, so move a files or directory from one location to another location. Similarly, to remove a file, delete a file rm. If you want to forcibly delete rmf, it is used to forcibly delete a file or directory. Okay, for example, you use rm-rf in your local file system, Linux file system, to remove a directory if it is not empty. The same thing you can achieve by using rmf. To kill a job which is running, you want to issue a kill command. Okay, to run a script, you need to, if you have a script, to run a script, you need to do this execute command. Execute command, you will run a script by opening in a new grunt shell. The same thing you can achieve by using run command also. Both the command is works for same purpose. Execute will open a new grunt shell. Run command will work with the existing grunt shell. That's the difference. Okay, it will run with existing grunt shell. Execute will open a new grunt shell. That is the difference between making use of run and execute. Okay, so sh is meant for running a shell command. Fs is meant for running a command in your HDFS file system. To come out of the command is quit. Will come out of the interpreter. Okay, quit is to exit the grunt shell. So these are all some of the commands that you can work with. Please make a note of these commands. Before proceeding, PIC Latin expressions. The first expression that you need to know is $n. Okay, here represents field in a position n. It represents a field in position n. N starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Example, you have data 1 RAM 9000 TB. Okay, so you load the data into a big relation. You create a relation like employee and you doesn't define any field. Simply you create the relation. Create a table employee. That's all. So without defining the field you have created, which is permitted in Pig. Okay, yesterday itself I had told you that. So you can create a relation in a Pig without even defining the field. No need to define the data type. I can able to create an employee table with employee number, employee name, and salary and job. So I no need to specify the data type here for employee number. If I doesn't specify any data type, which data type that it will take by default? Byte array. We have discussed about the data type for representing the value, binary value in form of byte array. This is the default data. Even no need to define the field. So automatically Pig will identify the field. So in this case, if you doesn't define the fields at the time of creating the relation, how to access the content here by means of this field position. Okay, here the first record is accessible, the first column is accessible by $0, the second column by $1, third column by $2, and fourth column by $3. You will simply select $0, $1 from the employee. What it will get? It will select the first two fields of employee table. Okay. If it is a field name, then you can specify the name of the field. Simply you specify, select the first field employee number and employee name. If it is not specified, the field name has been not specified, you need to access based upon the field position, $0 and $1. Please make a note. Field by name or field by position. Okay. The field by name is directly you can specify the field name. If you perform grouping or joining multiple relations, in this case, this field name need to be prefixed with this corresponds to field name, this corresponds to relation name. Relation name, field name. Where you need to go for? If you perform a grouping or joining action. If you are using any one of the command under grouping or joining, here it involves multiple relation. Therefore, you want to specify the relation name, followed with the field name. Example, employee : dot employee number. This is the way by which you need to specify. So this format is applicable for grouping and joining operator while using grouping and joining operator. If you are using some projection operators, in that case, if you are going to work with some containers, what is container? Container is nothing but if you have a data in relation, your bag or tuple has been termed as containers. In P, the relation bag and tuple are called as containers. If you want to access the data from the container, it can be accessible by the following: C.container name dot field by position or container name dot field name. It is possible. Okay. So C stands for container, whereas R stands for relation. By using this R : F, you can able to access the data only from relation, that is from table. If the data is in bag or tuple, you can't able to use R : F. Here, if you have to access data from bag or tuple, the syntax is C : C is nothing but container name, the bag name or tuple name, dot operator if the data does not have any field, then you want to refer it by using the position name $n, field in position. Else, if you have a name, you can refer by using the field name, that is F. While working with the data set, you may have a clear idea. Okay, and until then it will be a little bit confusing. While working with the data set, you may have a clear idea. And final is conditional operator. You can specify a condition here. Okay, the syntax is here. This is your expression. X is the expression. If its X is evaluated to true, you will assign the Y, else you will be assigned Z. For example, A greater than B, A else B. Print A, also will print B. This is your expression, X. Okay. Then here, this is your true condition. This corresponds to false condition. If you have data A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3, then 2 greater than 3. No. In this case, B will be printed. If you have data A is equal to 12 means in this case 12 greater than 3. Yes, in this case A will be printed. So the syntax for this condition based evaluation is the expression in the first question, question mark, then the expression if it is evaluated to true, this is the first part will be written, and the expression evaluated to false, then the second part will be written back. So this is the way by which you can evaluate a condition. So then you can make use of in some programming you need to make use of an operator called as flatten. Okay, flatten. It is used to remove some contents from bags or tuples. Flatten is used to remove some contents from bag or now we can, with this small introduction, we can now work with some practicals. Okay, so let me discuss some of the commands so that you can work with these cell commands. We have already listed out some commands. Here, cell commands. So here we have already discussed that the default shell is grunt shell. The grunt shell in Pig is used to write Pig Latin scripts. Usually it is used for executing Pig Latin scripts. So in this shell, we can also invoke any shell command also by using SH and FS. So if you want to work with this Linux file system, the command needs to be prefixed with SH. If you want to work with this Hadoop file system, the command needs to be prefixed with FS. For example, in this grunt shell, the syntax is SH shell command parameter list. SH shell command parameter list. For example, SH ls. What it will do? So it will list the contents. It is command for ls stands for listing. It is used to list the content of the present working directory. assume that the present working directory is home/Hadoop. It will list the content from this home/Hadoop. So it is from the grunt shell, not from the OS. From the OS prompt, you can directly perform a ls. The same ls, if it need to be executed from your PIC shell, the prefix is sh. That's all. If you want to execute, assume this home/Hadoop is in local file system. You have another file system, user/hive, which is supposed to be imagined in Hadoop file system. If you want to list this content, you should not issue sh/user. Okay. In this case, what you need to do, you want to issue fs-ls. You can specify the location, user/hive. Then all the files and directory under this folder will be listed. So this particular location is in HDFS. To access the content of HDFS, first, in our normal Linux prompt, the command is bin/hadoop. Yes, if you type -ls means all the files and directories under this Hadoop file system's current present working directory will be listed. The same thing, if you want to work with the grunt shell, you need a prefix with fs and the Linux command and the path where to look for. Please make a note. Then we are going to now discuss about some utility commands. Yes. To clear the screen, you go for from the grunt shell. Okay, clear. It will clear the screen. If you want to know the list of PIC commands, so I have already listed some commands which comes accounts into 19 or 20. If you want to know the list of commands, you simply type in grunt shell. It will list all the PIC commands along with the syntax. Another command is history command. History. This command displays a list of statements that we have executed in the grunt shell from the invoking of the shell. History commands will list out the commands that we have executed in the grunt shell from the starting. முன்னாடி என்னென்ன கமாண்ட் ஒர்க் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ அதை லிஸ்ட் பண்ணும். இது வந்து ப்ராம்ப்ட், ஷெல் ப்ராம்ப்ட். another command is set. It is used to set the values for certain parameters, or it is used to show the values. It serves for two purposes: to set a value or to show already set value on a particular parameter. For example, the first parameter that we discuss is default underscore parallel. Here this information will be taught more clearly in our map and reduce topic. So to set the number of reductions here, at the time of executing a particular program, the programmer will have an option of setting how many mappers and how many reducers that need to be applied for a particular job. So you need to know what is mapper and what is reducer. Okay, so your task can be split into map task and a reduce task. Okay, according to this number of map task and number of reduce task and map task. So a particular program, let me assume may need a 10 map task and 5 reduce tasks. So you need to set the mapper. Mapper is a module which runs the map task. Okay, if you have only one mapper, then each map task will be assigned separately. Let me assume if one map task need 1 second, if you have only one mapper, and to run 10 map tasks, you need 10 seconds. Else, if you have 2 mappers, this map task can be equally split among these 2 map task 1, map task 2 can be concurrently executed. Therefore, to execute this 10 map task, you need only 5 seconds. If you have 5 mappers, it can be executed within 2 seconds. So the number of mappers depends upon the total number of map tasks that is need to be executed. If your computer is having enough resources, if the resources refer to your CPU and your RAM memory is sufficient enough, you can have more map tasks to be run concurrently on a mappers. So you need to specify the mappers and you need to specify the number of reducers. Here, by using this default -parallel, you can set the number of reducers. For example, set the number of reducers to 5. When you need register, that's the purpose of going for register. What sort of business logic that you need to write in the register will be taught to you in our map reduce program. Okay, so just to set this particular parameter value in a grunt shell, then you can use this set operator. Okay, the set operator. So the set operator is used to set the value. If you simply type set in your grunt shell, if you simply type set default underscore parallel means it will output the number of reducers that has been set. Let me make it to 2. If you want to make it to 5, set you want to assign the value of 5. So to set the number of reducers for a particular map job, then you need to use this parameter. You are going to submit a job. You want to set the name of the job. So the parameter is set job name is equal to name of the job. Okay, salary calculation. Okay, so any name that you can assign to the job, else it will be assigned by the P. The ID, unique ID will be assigned by the P. If you want to trace the job for future actions, if you want to find out what sort of action a job has done, so to work with this particular job, you need to know the name of the job. Either you can set the name of the job by using set command. If you doesn't set anything, it will be assigned by Pig automatically. So at the time of submitting the job, you can assign a priority to your job. Priority, these are all interview questions. Job.priority. You have the following priority. You have the very, very low priority, a normal priority, high priority, very high priority. Okay. So if there are already 3 jobs which is running with low priority or with normal priority. Okay. So if you want, you are submitting a new job, that is job 4. If the job want to be executed first, you need to set either high priority or very high priority according to the job. So this priority can be set by using set job priority command.
With this discussion, let me conclude today's discussion. It is already 9:30. So because of that frequent failure, we have extended the session to compensate the loss of time. So here tomorrow morning we can continue this session at 8 to 10:30. I will share you the class link for tomorrow's session. So once the tomorrow's session, we can continue with the pig itself. Okay. So far what we have discussed is with respect to pig, we have discussed the introductory part, the architecture part, the installation part, and some of the commands associated with pig. Let me continue with the pig. And once the discussion has been pig has been over, we can have around 2 to 3 use cases based discussion. One using airline data set, another one sentiment analytics, and third one the discussion associated with real estate predictions. Okay. So after that we can come back to that of Hive dynamic partitioning. Okay. So up to now, do you have any doubt? Kindly let me know before. Bala sir, Deepraj, Anup, Dhanalakshmi, Gandhar. Is it okay for you? What we have discussed so far? So again a small request, if there is a sudden interrupt, sudden down of the system, kindly wait for a while. So here we have facing this power cut frequently in our area. Okay. Each and every time I want to insist this sort of thing. Okay. We can have our session on tomorrow morning 8 a.m. IST, Indian time IST. I will share you. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Raman.